The most potent force isn't the one that shouts the loudest. Rather, it's the one that doesn't need to shout at all. In a world obsessed with revenge, comeback lines, and constantly proving your worth, silence can feel like surrender. We're taught to fight back when disrespected, to raise our voices when overlooked, and to retaliate when attacked. But what if the genuine power lies in restraint instead of resistance? That's the paradox. I've learned that true dominance isn't about matching the enemy's energy, but about mastering your own. That's where Niccolo Machiavelli comes into play. He was a controversial thinker who understood power, manipulation, and control better than most. Machiavelli believed that controlling your image, emotion, and reactions is far more lethal than brute strength. In The Prince, he wrote, "It is better to be feared than loved if you cannot be both." But he didn't mean fear through violence. He meant fear of perceived control, of the timing of silence, and of calculated perception. Today, I want to share 6 silent rules that lead to total dominance. These aren't about flexing or mind games. They're about calculated growth, unseen strength, and the subtle art of becoming unshakable. We're starting this journey with a clear head and an inward look, not just outward. You'll realize that dominance isn't about controlling others. It's about never letting them control you. Drop in the comments right now, "Silence is my strongest move." Before we get into these 6 rules, make sure to like, comment, share, subscribe, and don't skip any part, because each section is building an unstoppable foundation. Rule number 1. Stop explaining yourself. Benjamin Disraeli once said, "Never complain, never explain." One of the most powerful things you can do is walk away from the need to be understood. Most people crave justification. They always want to defend their decisions, seek validation, and explain their actions. Every time you over-explain, you give away a piece of your power, basically telling the world, "You matter more than my peace." When you stop doing that, control shifts back to you. Think about someone who confidently says no without giving a reason, or makes a surprising move without explaining. You've got a magnetic aura, because their mystery makes them formidable. Machiavelli understood this perfectly. Rulers should act decisively but hide their true intentions. When people don't know why you do what you do, they can't predict or manipulate you. That's real dominance. If you're growing in silence, changing habits, or distancing yourself from toxic people, don't bother explaining that to anyone. Let time do the talking. Every explanation you give is like a leak in the dam holding back something huge. People fear what they can't read. They dismiss what they understand. When you walk with intention, without justification, you become untouchable. No one needs to see your storm. Your silence alone becomes the weapon. Sometimes, the strongest people walk away from arguments they could win just to protect their peace. A reaction is a distraction, and if someone really needs to know why you've moved, that means they weren't truly with you anyway. Remember, silence isn't weakness, it's strategic. You owe no one an explanation. Your job is to produce results, not just responses. Rule number 2, let their ego bury them. Napoleon Bonaparte said, "When the enemy makes a false move, don't interrupt him." Sometimes, silence is more powerful than pushing forward, especially when you're observing others overplay their hand while you remain unmoved. Ego is a blindfold. The most dangerous people are the ones who think they're invincible. When someone disrespects you, underestimates you, or tries to provoke you, don't bother correcting them. Let them believe you're insignificant. Let their guard slip. Then, when the moment's right, rise from your silence. Machiavelli believed in the importance of appearances, not because they're fake, but because they're strategic. Acting less aware than you are grants you access, insight, and the room for your opponent to expose themselves. True dominance is resisting the urge to prove yourself. When you try to prove something, you're already playing on their level, and if they're ego-driven, they're already more skilled at that game. So let people talk, underestimate you, and mistake your silence for ignorance. As they perform, you're quietly building strength. This plays out in every part of life: careers, relationships, social circles. Someone who thinks they've outsmarted you may flaunt their position and mock your silence. But if you stay patient, grounded, and strategic, they'll begin to self-destruct. The louder they get, the more exposed they become. When ego spirals out of control, they dig their own graves. Have you ever seen someone get too comfortable and act reckless because they believed you were no threat? Happens all the time. Your move. Either match their energy or, better yet, master your own. You don't dominate the chessboard by rushing every move you win by letting your opponent think you're losing, then striking with clarity. Let their ego elevate the stage and wait for the moment the curtains fall. Rule number 3. Success must be your only response. Remember what the Joker said in The Dark Knight. If you're good at something, never do it for free. The ultimate silent power move is leveling up so loud be your achievements that you never need to say a word. When you focus intensely on your growth, the noise around you becomes background static. People will judge, doubt, and try to stir drama, but all you do is keep building. Machiavelli warned leaders not to waste time defending their reputation, but to let their accomplishments do the talking. You don't need to justify your power. Instead, you build it. The most misunderstood are those in the middle of transformation theory, neither where they used to be nor fully there yet. And that gap invites judgment. But you, my friend, keep growing in that dark space. Don't broadcast your plans, don't argue or justify. Let your progress embarrass the skeptics. When you level up, you'll notice you get quieter because focus replaces noise. Silence isn't emptiness, it's motion. Authentic change makes less noise than fake confidence. Maybe right now you feel invisible, that's okay. Think of a caterpillar transforming into a butterfly. It doesn't scream before the flight. It isolates, transforms, and then emerges, wings fluttering without explanation. Be that butterfly. Let people wonder what you're building. Let them speculate. When you walk into a room months from now, silent but unstoppable, they won't believe it's you because the proof will be in your results. This is how the powerful win, through silent evolution, through results that no one can deny. Rule number 4, disappear to rise. Marcus Aurelius said, withdraw into yourself. It is in the silence that you will find strength. Sometimes, the most dominant move is stepping back, not out of fear or weakness, but for strategy. There comes a point when your growth no longer fits within your current environment. Conversations feel shallow, energy feels heavy, and expectations are too low. That's when you withdraw because this isn't about isolation, it's incubation. Machiavelli warned rulers that the masses are ficklethly praised today, cursed tomorrow. So wise leaders learn to govern from a distance, not out of arrogance but for preservation. Distance gives you perspective, and perspective gives you power. Stepping back allows you to stop performing, reacting, and feeding the noise. In that silence, you reconnect with your purpose, recalibrate your goals, and rebuild your strength. Society hates when you step away because your absence makes you unpredictable. And unpredictable people are danger-roused because they can't be controlled. People will guilt-trip you, they'll say you've changed, you're acting different. But that's the point. You're supposed to evolve. You're not meant to stay in the same cycles forever. When you're off the radar, you cease being influenced by trivial drama and instead encounter your own voice more clearly. When you return, it's sharper, calmer, more focused, and more powerful. People won't recognize the new you, which is exactly the goal. You owe nobody access to your healing or your growth. You don't need to announce your goals, just vanish and then come back like the moon behind the clouds. Brighter, fuller, undeniable. Drop in the comments, I disappear to rise higher. Rule number 5, don't react, record. Loris said, he who controls others may be powerful, but he who masters himself is mightier still. Most folks have an instinct to react. An insult, a doubt, a disrespect triggers an immediate response. But here's the secret. Every reaction is a trade you pay with your power. Machiavelli knew that emotions cloud judgment. A leader who reacts impulsively is vulnerable. The one who observes, records, and waits can strike at the perfect moment. The most dangerous players aren't the loudest, they're the quiet, calculating ones. They watch, analyze, take notes, and gather intelligence. When the moment is right, they execute with precision. That's what you do now. You don't argue with fools, you study them. You don't retaliate blindly, you analyze their moves. If someone disrespects or undermines you, don't react emotionally, log it mentally. Trust the pattern. Use that intel when the time is ripe. In relationships, if someone tries to gaslight you, don't get into an argument, observe and record their behavior. Use that knowledge to your advantage later. At work, if someone seeks to humiliate or undermine you, stay composed. Let their insecurity do the talking. When they get loud or try to provoke you, stay calm. Their insecurity is exposing them, not you. This isn't coldness, it's clarity. You're not a puppet, you are in control. Your real power lies in your ability to choose when, how, and if to respond. And finally, rule number 6. Kill them with indifference. Anton Chekhov said, "To be insulted by a fool is a pleasure." There's a phase in your growth where disrespect no longer hits home, not because people stop trying, but because you stop caring. That's real dominance. You've probably heard kill them with kindness, but kindness takes effort. Sometimes, the strongest move is to kill their influence with your indifference. This is the final evolution: apathy toward nonsense. Machiavelli believed rulers must learn to ignore petty insults and irrelevant battles if they want to stay focused. Ignoring doesn't mean weakness, it means strength. The truth is, not everything deserves your energy. Not every insult needs a comeback, and not every rumor warrants a response. The most powerful understand their own value isn't up for debate. When someone tries to provoke you, and you simply smile, nod, or walk away, they escalate desperate to get a reaction. But when you stay silent, unbothered, it's deafening. It tells everyone, "I'm above your drama," and that's what true dominance looks like. Their attempts to throw you off only build your inner strength. When you master your reactions, your presence, and your peace, you've created an unbreakable fortress. That kind of control isn't faked, bought, or manipulated, it's earned through discipline. The next time someone tries to drag you into pointless conflict, don't respond. Don't defend, don't explain. Just keep moving forward like they never even existed. That's how you dominate without even entering the arena. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this and you will find strength." All 6 rules revolve around self-mastery. Every tip isn't just strategic. It's about quiet, restrained, focused you. Your silence, your restraint, your growth, and even your indifference are not signs of retreat, they are the foundation of Stoic power. Stoicism teaches that the greatest victory isn't over others but over yourself. Your inner voice that screams for revenge, your ego that demands validation, overcome it. Dominate that voice, and everything else falls into place. Machiavelli focused on perception, Stoics on principle. When you combine the two, you become unshakable. So here's the final message. Don't fight back, don't make noise, don't react, master yourself. Move in silence. Let your results roar. This is your moment to rise beyond what anyone can see coming. Drop in the comments, "My silence speaks louder than their noise." If this message stirred something in you, if it made you pause, reflect, or feel more powerful, share it. Like, comment your favorite rule, tag someone who needs to hear this, and subscribe. This isn't just about understanding power, it's about becoming it. Until next time, lead with silence, or rule with presence.